Bonjour, les étudiants. So welcome back, French session. And last week we finished the fifth lesson, right? Ma maison. And this week we'll be starting the next lesson, sixth lesson, lesson six, mon passe-temps, which means my pastime, my free time, or my hobbies, and so on. So what you do during your free time, that's what it means. So how you pass your time. And so in this lesson, we'll be seeing tense, future sample, simple future. So we won't be seeing those exercises today. The next class, okay, so the next session, next week, we'll be seeing the future sampler. So today we'll be doing the other exercises, right? So the present tense, the match the following, and so on. And we got even a small homework for you in this. The match the following, it's one simple exercise. Let's just check if you could do it. And so voilà. So you'll go to the slides and please follow with your notebooks. So please write your notebooks and submit on time. Merci beaucoup.
And here we are. Lesson 6, mon passe-temps. So, mon passe-temps, my free time or my pastime, my hobby, my leisure. Right? So, whatever. So, what you do during your free time. So, that's what we'll be talking about in this lesson. So, the first exercise, it's simple. We got to conjugate the given verbs which are given in the bracket. You got to conjugate in présent. Mettez les verbes au présent de l'indicatif. So, le verbe apprendre, écrire, aller, venir, jouer. Apprendre, j'apprends, tu apprends, il apprend, elle apprend, nous apprenons, vous apprenez, ils apprennent, elles apprennent. So, Vani et Vinita. So, deux filles. Yeah, there we got two girls. So, we take it for feminine plural. E-L-L-E-S. Right? E-L-L-E-S. Elles apprennent. Elles apprennent le français. Hope you remember the spelling for apprennent. A-P-P-R-E-N-N-E-N-T. So, Myriam et Martina écrire des poèmes. So, le verbe écrire, j'écris, tu écris, il écrit, elle écrit, on écrit, nous écrivons, vous écrivez, ils écrivent, elles écrivent. So, again, you got in the third person plural form. So, ils écrivent. Oui, écrivent, E-C-R-I-V-E-N-T. So, the accent will be there. So, they learn French. So, they write some poems. Elle allait avec son père au marché. She goes with the dad to the market. So the verb aller, je vais, tu vas, il va, elle va. Nous allons, vous allez, ils vont, elles vont. So elle va, vi et. So the fourth one, mon amie française venir en Inde pour une semaine. So my French friend is coming to India for 1 week. So the verb venir, je viens, tu viens, il vient, elle vient, on vient, nous venons, vous venez, ils viennent, elles viennent. So mon ami française, we take it for the elle form, E-L-L-E. So elle vient, V-I-E-N-T. Elle vient en Inde pour une semaine. So the last one, tu jouais de la guitare le soir. You play guitar the evenings. So jouer, it's an ER ending verb. Je joue, tu joues. Il joue, elle joue, on joue. Nous jouons, vous jouez. Il joue, elle joue. So tu joues, J-O-U-E-S. So now you can check the answers. So here, apprenne, écrive, va, vient, joue. So we'll move to the next exercise. So we'll move to the fourth exercise now. Associer, we go to match. Associer les deux colonnes et puis faire des phrases. Okay, so you got to associate the two columns and make some sentences. So regarder, so regarder un film, lire un roman, so read a novel, écrire une lettre à son ami, faire du tennis, apprendre le français. Right? So you just got to make a sentence then. Okay, so first you got to match and you got to make a sentence. So as you know, it will be like a small homework. Let's see who can write it correctly. So just the match thing we have done. Okay, so here the answers: regarder un film, lire un roman, écrire une lettre à son ami, faire du tennis, apprendre le français. So what you have to do is you got to conjugate this verb. So you got to put a subject, you conjugate this verb, and you just write the continuation, the second column. Right? So what I will say. And if you are doing the sentence, okay, so you can just do the sentence. No need to do this match. Okay, so anyway, if your sentence is right with this verb and this object, so then the sentence is right. The match thing is correct, as you know. Okay, so voilà, we'll try this. Okay, so this will be the homework. So the sixth exercise, transformer les phrases au futur proche. So future proche, hope you remember. It's actually the verb aller plus infinitive form. Oui, aller plus infinitive. So here we got the verbs conjugated, but these verbs are conjugated in future simple. So as I told you, so the next class will be saying future simple, how to conjugate and so on. So this is how it will be conjugated, but you can guess the verbs, right? So commandre, it's actually the verb commander. So vera, so this is actually the verb voir. It's an exception. So the radical will be different. It's voir, V-O-I-R, to see, voir. Feront, so this is actually the verb faire. So we got very limited words with F, right? So ferme, okay, but don't get confused. It's not ferme, it's faire. It's the verb faire. This is écrire, you can know. This is dire, T-A-R-E. So how will you conjugate in future proche? So it's simple. So according to the subject, you got to conjugate the verb aller first. Je vais commander. You got to find the infinitive form of this verb. Je vais commander le repas. I am going to order the meal or the dish. Paul verra son ami. Paul va voir, V-O-I-R, son ami. Paul is going to see his friend. Nous ferons du tennis le week-end prochain. Nous allons faire du tennis le week-end prochain. So we are going to do tennis. We are going to play tennis the next weekend. Prochain means next. Tu écriras une lettre à ton ami. So the accent is missing. So tu vas écrire une lettre à ton ami. So you are going to write a letter to your friend. Vous direz la nouvelle. Vous allez dire, D-A-R-E, la nouvelle. So you're going to say the news. Right? So here we'll check the answers. Je vais commander le repas. Paul va voir son ami. Nous allons faire du tennis le week-end prochain. Tu vas écrire une lettre à ton ami. Vous allez dire la nouvelle. Yeah, so please don't make mistakes in these exercises. These are really simple. The seventh exercise now. Transformer les phrases à l'impératif. So imperative, we saw this earlier, right? And so here, so again, the verbs are conjugated in future simple. Okay, so here you can see the verb faire, the verb appeler, écrire, prendre, finir. So the imperative, it's just in present tense, so like what we saw. Okay, we don't change anything for future or whatever. Okay, so we'll remove the subject. First thing, as you know, in imperative, we'll remove the subject. So for tu, how will you conjugate the verb finir in imperative? It's fini. F-I-N-I-S. Fini tes exercices de grammaire aujourd'hui. Okay, which means finish your grammar exercises today. So the second verb, it's prendre. Okay, so you cut nous. So, but it's in nous form. Prenons de la salade. Prenons de la salade. P-R-E-N-O-N-S. So, which means let's take some salad. Let's take. Let us take some salad in English. Okay, so in French, it's prenons de la salade. Vous écrirez immédiatement une lettre. So, you just take the subject, okay, vous, and écrirez will be conjugating like écrivez. Écrivez immédiatement une lettre. Oui, écrivez immédiatement une lettre, which means write immediately a letter. Tu appelleras ton ami le week-end. Okay, so the verb appeler, you cut the subject. Appelle ton ami le week-end. Okay, so call your friend this weekend. Okay, the weekend. So appees. Oui, so the S will cut. Vous ferez le travail de l'école tout de suite. Okay, so this is actually the verb faire. So it's conjugated with vous. So you cut vous, faites in present tense, right? F-A-I-T-E-S. Faites le travail de l'école tout de suite. So do the school work immediately. Tout de suite, which means immediately. Immédiatement or tout de suite, it means the same. We'll see the answers now. Here. Finis tes exercices de grammaire aujourd'hui. Prenons de la salade. Écrivez immédiatement une lettre. Appelle ton ami le week-end. Faites le travail de l'école tout de suite. Oui. So do not forget it's imperative. So you just cut the subjects and you conjugate it in present tense. Okay. We'll move to the eighth exercise now. Répondez aux questions selon l'indication donnée. Répondez aux questions selon l'indication donnée. So answer the questions with the according to the indications, given indications. So here we got plus, minus, plus, minus, plus. So this is what the indication it is. Okay, so plus means affirmation, positive. Okay, affirmation. Minus means negation. Right? Affirmation, negation, affirmation. Right? So, which, for example, je parle français, it's affirmation. Je ne parle pas français, it's negation. Right? So here you got to answer in affirmation, but so you can see the question, it's a negation. Right? Interrogative, but a negation. So, vous n'allez pas travailler. You're not going to work. Okay, you are not going to work. So, how will you answer in affirmation? We don't use we. We'll be using si. Si. Okay, if the question it's in negation, and if you'd like to answer with s, so we'll be answering with si. Si, not we. Okay, si je vais travailler. So when you answer, the vous form changes to je, right? To the first person. Je vais travailler. So the aller will be conjugated according to the subject je. Je vais travailler. Elle n'a pas d'argent. She doesn't have any money. Again, the sentence it's in negative. The question it's in negative. But you got to answer in negation, which means no. Okay, so no, even in the question if it's a negation, we'll be answering with no. Just for we, will be replacing it with C if the question it's a negation. For negation, for no, it's actually no. Right? No means no. Yeah, elle n'a pas d'argent. No, elle n'a pas d'argent. Okay, she doesn't have money. No, she doesn't have any money. Oui, no, elle n'a pas d'argent. So the same thing will be repeating. Right? So here again in affirmation, il ne prend pas de viande. Il ne prend pas de viande. He doesn't take meat. He doesn't take meat. So affirmation si. Okay, si. Il prend de la viande. So the changes to de la in affirmation. Hope you remember. So de la changes to the in negation. So the changes to de la in affirmation. Right? So beyond it's feminine, so you got to check. So de la. If in case it's masculine, then we use du. Here it's de la. Si il prend de la viande. That's it. Vous ne regardez pas la télévision. So in negation, non. Je ne regarde pas la télévision. You don't watch television? No, I don't watch television. So no. Je ne regarde pas la télévision. So last one. Tu ne lis pas de journaux. So you don't read any novels. Pardon, you don't read any journals or newspapers. Si. Okay, so it's an affirmation. So you answer it si. Si. Je lis des journaux. De changes to des because it's in plural. So DES. See, je lis des journaux. So tu, vous, these things will be changing to je when you are answering. You can check the answers now. So here, si, je vais travailler. Non, elle n'a pas d'argent. Si, il prend de la viande. Non, je ne regarde pas la télévision. Si, je lis des journaux. So moving to the ninth exercise. Qu'est-ce que vous faites? So what you do or what you're doing. So what you do Saturday. So what you do Sunday. So what you do during a public holiday, a government holiday. So what you do the next week. La semaine prochaine, which means next week. Qu'est-ce que vous faites le mois prochain? What you do the next month. So Saturday, what you do. So you can write this exercise on your own. But for the last two, you got to use future sample. Okay, future sample. So we'll see the answers. Okay, qu'est-ce que vous faites le samedi? Le samedi, je vais au temple. For example, okay, je vais au temple. Qu'est-ce que vous faites le dimanche? Le dimanche, je vais au restaurant. I go to the restaurant. Okay, qu'est-ce que vous faites le jour férié? Le jour férié, je reste chez moi. Je me repose. Qu'est-ce que vous faites la semaine prochaine? La semaine prochaine, je visiterai mes amis. Je rendrai visite à mes amis. Je rencontrerai mes amis. So we'll be using future sum. So anyway, the next class we'll be saying this exercise again. So for the first three, if you want, you can write the answers. For the last two, I'll explain. Then you can write or you can copy it now itself. Here, le samedi, je vais au temple. Okay, so anything you can write. Okay, le samedi, je joue au jeu vidéo. You can write whatever you want. Je fais du cricket or whatever. Right? But should be in present tense because they are asking qu'est-ce que vous faites le samedi. It's normally on Saturdays what you do. Okay, so that's what this question means. Normally on Saturdays, like what you do. So you got to give the answer in present. So because it's an habit. Okay, it's an habit of you. So we'll be answering in present tense itself. Le samedi, je vais au temple. Le dimanche, je rencontre mes amis. Le jour férié, je reste chez moi. Okay, the public holiday, I stay at home. La semaine prochaine, je jouerai au cricket. So this is future sample. Je jouerai au cricket. Le mois prochain, je visiterai des musées. The next week, the next month, I will visit some museums. So you can see the future sum. So the infinitive form is present, J-O-U-E-R. Then they have added the verb avoir. So that will be the rule. So next class we'll see. Right? So we'll move to the 10th exercise. This is one easy exercise. Regrouper les quatre mots en une seule catégorie. So here they are given some categories and you go to regroup these all words and you go to say it in one category. Right? So des noms au masculin. Des noms au masculin. Some nouns, right? Some names or some nouns, some words in masculine. Second one, des jours de la semaine, some days of the week. Des verbes de perception, okay, some verbs, some perception verbs. Okay, so the sense, okay, so the vision, the view, to feel, and so on. Des verbes de mouvement, so some movement verbs, which means to go, to come, and so on. Des noms des sports, some names of the sports, some sports names. Mardi, dimanche, jeudi, lundi. Des jours de la semaine. Voir, regarder, écouter, sentir. Des verbes de perception. Aller, venir, sortir, arriver. Des verbes de mouvement. Le cricket, le rugby, le tennis, le football. Des noms des sports. Beau, intelligent, charmant, délicieux. Des noms au masculin. Okay, so hope it's fine. So we'll move to the next. Here. So the 11th exercise. Faites des phrases avec des éléments donnés. So you got to make sentences with the given elements. So they are given an example. For example, sportif. So MSD, Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Andyan. Okay, you got to give some sentences. Okay, so you got to give sentences using these words. Sportif. Okay, so actually Mahendra Singh Dhoni is a sportif, right? He's an Indian, so that's how you got to say. C'est un sportif. He is a sportive person, athlete. Il s'appelle Mahendra Singh Dhoni. His name is MS Dhoni. Il est Indien. He is an Indian. So that's how we got to make sentence. Okay, so first one, all these are professions. Okay, so you can just start with say. Right? So, or even if it's a friend, you can say say. C'est un acteur. Il s'appelle Salman Khan. Il est indien. C'est une copine. Elle s'appelle Zoé with an accent. Elle s'appelle Zoé, it's a girl. Elle est intelligente, féminin. C'est un médecin. Il s'appelle Ravindra Kumar. Il est connu. So he is well known. He is well known. He is famous. That's what it means, connu. C'est un scientifique. Il s'appelle Albert Einstein. Il est allemand. Allemand, which means German. C'est un philosophe. Il s'appelle René Descartes. Il est français. Oui. So you can see the answers now. C'est un acteur. Il s'appelle Salman Khan. Il est indien. C'est une copine. Elle s'appelle Zoé. Elle est intelligente. C'est un médecin. Il s'appelle Ravindra Kumar. Il est connu. C'est un scientifique. Il s'appelle Albert Einstein. Il est allemand. C'est un philosophe. Il s'appelle René Descartes. Il est français. So that's it for today. So hope you'll copy all the exercises in your notebook. Okay, so please follow. So thank you so much. Be safe. On se voit la semaine prochaine. The next class. Merci.